Good day and welcome back. My name is MrEaking, and this is the second hammer tutorial. Sorry about the delay in it. The holidays and that. I've been quite busy and actually been working quite a bit. So, anyways, to start off, first thing we want to do is just start off a new file and just make the grid as big as we can. We want to make a box, a rectangular box, roughly 4,000 by, we'll say, what, 6,100. And then we want to make it, what, 3,000 tall? 3,000 tall should be fine. And go into browse down here for the textures, and we want to go ahead and type in sky. I type in Skybox, make it a little bit easier. And then scroll to the very bottom, and there will be one that says 2D Skybox. Should be the very last one. Go ahead and press enter on it, so it's selected, and then press the enter key again to make a big box here. Now this is where we're going to just throw our little level to show you how to make skyboxes, water, ladders, and a little island. So go ahead and go to tools and make hollow, and we're going to call it 64. Why? Just so we don't have to change the grid too much when making our next box. So we want to make another box here. We want to scroll in here and change the grid down using the left square bracket until the squares line up to the inside wall. Then click on the inside wall, scroll out, and move your cursor down to the edge, and then zoom back in, and you're able to get right to the corners. Easy way to guarantee that you're in the right spots. And we want this one not to be 64 high, but let's go ahead and click browse. We're going to make this our water plane. So type in water, and let's go ahead and choose the Inferno water. You can choose any of these blue ones, any of them should work. Each will have their own special texture. So now that we have that done, go ahead and press enter to build the water. Now the water is here right now. One thing is it's sitting on the floor. So press the selection key up here, and then with your cursor in any of these, or not any of these, but one of these here, press the up button on the arrow keys on your keyboard, and it'll move it up along the grid, or down, depending if you pressed up or down. It'll also move it left or right, but we don't want to move it left or right, we want to just move it up so it's sitting on top of the floor of the skybox. Next thing we want to do is we don't want this 64 high, because if we put a person in here, he'll be able to duck underneath it, and personally that's something I hate when you go to play a TTT map and people can hide underneath the water. So press the left square bracket to reduce the grid size and reduce the height of it to 32. It'll just make it better so when you put in characters, they won't be able to go underneath the water and hide. Unless you want that to be a feature. Always, if you want ability to swim underneath the water or that, throw in a character and then you can see how tall he is, like in comparison to the water, and put it above his head if you want, depending on what you want to do with it. But this will get us to the water, but it won't make it water just yet. First we need to add two things to it. So we'll just add them here in the corner because we know we won't have an island in the corner. So go to the entity tool, go into objects here and type in cube, and we want to put an environment cube map in. So just click there, and then the next thing we need is a water load control. So just type in water and click again, and now this will allow this water to generate and show properly. So now that we have our water done, let's go ahead and build ourselves a small little island here. So go ahead and click on the cube again, and let's increase the grid size again to all the way. Now you don't want to go too big with these displacements. If you go too big, then the hills will just look weird. It'll look too polygonish or polygony. I don't know exactly the correct terminology there. But if you leave it at 2048 by 2048, I find it works pretty well for when you I'll show you when you create the displacement. The one thing is though, we don't want our island to be 32 high. We only want it to be like 4 high, and then we'll build up from there. So go ahead and change the grid pattern till it's down quite a bit, and then zoom in and make it only 4 high, and we want to rest it on the bottom of the water for right now. That way, anywhere from 8 below will work. That way when a character walks from the water to the island, they'll be able to walk up it without having to jump, and it won't be sticking up out of the water, which is also a nice thing. So now that we have this little 2048 by 2048 block made here, let's go into browse and type grass. Now this will give you some textures that are two-toned. Personally, I like to use the two-tone when using the displacements. So I want one that's going to have somewhat of like a sandy look to it. So I like this one here. So let's go ahead and choose that one. And then go ahead and press enter to build that little plain sort of block that we've made here. Go into the texture go into selection and then press the texture tool. So we have the that block is selected right now. No, it doesn't show it is, but it is. If we go underneath now, we can see that it is. And if we go to displacement and click create, leave it at power 3. See how it makes this all into little triangles? That's what we're going to end up using to build our island. So if we go up here, now right now we can't see it, but if we go to paint geometry, we have 3 different options here. We have raise lower, raise to, and smooth. Raise to is good for making a nice flat area. Smooth, it is nice for making the hills, you know, go into one another nicely. And raise and lower just allows you to raise and lower the island. Never go below where you start from, so you can never lower it below here, or you might end up with geometry errors and then you have to recreate everything or go in and refix everything little bits by bits. It's easier always just to build up from where you want to go. So if you want a river, okay, then take this and build up, so then you have a you know, channel that the water can go through. Don't go the other way and try to build this down. It might work if you just build down, but you can't build up and down, I find. I don't know. I was having troubles when I was trying to do this tutorial before. But anyways, you got the radius here, which now you can see a bit more of the cursor here. It shows how big of a area you're going to raise up or lower. When beyond raised and lower, left click will raise up. So I'm just going to left click a bit here and just raise up a bit of this island. And as you can see, you know, I already got a bit of an island starting to form here. Looks kind of weird still though. Quite polygonish, you might say. But that's because we're not, you know, doing this in any sort of uniform at the moment. I believe this is the edge here, so we just want to make sure that's lower. And same with over here. We don't want it, our island popping out of the water, right? So once you've lowered all those, what I like to do is just raise up like a nice area. If we increase the distance here, it'll increase how strong it'll move it. That's not too bad. Try to raise this up a bit more. Now we want to have a nice little flat area here. So let's increase the distance quite a bit. Now, I'm sure there is a way to get that to go more proper. To raise it up higher. I'm just not sure how, to be honest, because it only goes to 60. Unless you can type in 200. Oh. Well, that works better. And then you just want to click on at least 4 different points. So we got a nice little flat area up here now. Then we just want to use the smooth tool. Increase the radius. We just want to smooth this out a bit. Now, you might be going, well, this looks like a pretty sandy place right now. This might have actually been a little bit too big of an island. Geometry's not too bad. Having to force it quite a bit to get it somewhat natural looking, getting natural slopes and that. Anyways, we got like a little island type look here, so we can go ahead and close this. And then there's Paint Alpha. Now we chose the 2 tone texture. With that now we will be able to paint in the other texture that we had on there. So I'm just going to go around the inside or the interior of the island here and give it a bit of green. Just because, I mean, it'll make it look a little bit more natural, having just like a little sandy beach going up to a grassy knoll. It's not too bad. It doesn't really need to be perfect. I mean, I suppose. Oh, yeah. Right click will increase the value. Right click's supposed to do the other one. Huh. There we go. Yeah, just because we have it too polygonish, it's going to go one way or the other, so let's go with it instead of against it. Oh yeah, I like that. Just actually add one more in. Come on, paint. There we go. Close, close. And now we have ourselves a little island here. And when we look at it from the side, oh, it looks pretty good. I think I might have dropped that one spot down a little bit too much. Huh, actually it looks pretty flat from the underneath. Oh no, right there. That's the one thing you want to make sure is that your island doesn't drop down like that. So that's why we went and checked here, just to make sure that it wasn't doing this, but it is. So let's go into the displacement, paint geometry, raise lower, and then we just want to raise that up one. And now it's flat again. Just to make sure we don't get any sort of problems when we go to run the map. Okay, so that's not too bad. So let's go ahead and add in some characters here to make sure that everything here is working so far. So info, player, counter-terrorist, and we'll add in the terrorist. And then one other thing we need to add in is if you type in light, or just LIGA I guess works, we need a light environment for when you're doing an outside environment. So I just threw one up here in the sky. If you double click on it, you can always go in and change what color it's showing or how dark or bright it is. We're just going to leave it at normal, just we don't really care about it right now. Files, save as, water, new test. As you can see, there's quite a few tests I've already tried. Was having troubles with doing that terrain initially. Hopefully this time it all works out. It looks, yeah. It would have canceled already if it wasn't gonna work, so. Oh, and now I have it working, so it should show the CSGO when it loads. So I'm just gonna Alt-Tab out once it loads to make sure. Yep, maybe I shouldn't have all tabbed out then. Okay. Run the map. That's working. And you got the game capture on. Wait until it loads, then we'll all tab out. Make sure that it's working. Huh. Oh, that's weird. Well, our terrain's here, but let me just check, make sure it is showing. Yeah, it is good. Okay, yeah, our terrain's showing, but for some reason the people didn't work. Probably because I didn't put a player start in the map. Oh, well, I guess that shows you the entire island base. Could have made it go out a bit more around the front here, but gives you an idea. Let's go ahead and quit that, and we got the water going around the outside. Actually, that is another thing. Let's show you here. Sorry about that. If you go into map and then properties, Skybox texture name. This is how you can change what that sky looks like. I have a Google Chrome thing open here. So actually we got Google. So type in here CSGO Skybox. That should work. And then we want the Sky List Valve developer community. And then click on the Counter-Strike source shared GFC. And this gives the list of different Counter-Strike source skyboxes. With these, you know that any of these anyone will have. We have somewhat of a... Oh, I really don't like it when it goes that far down into... This looks better. For what were you... Oh, wait, no. Sorry, we're in the data defeat. These ones will not work unless you have data defeat installed. Sorry. I want a nice water one, but there isn't really any water level. So let's just go with the Havana one. So just copy the text that's here. Sorry. There's a space after that one. We don't need the space. And then just paste it in. Click apply. Close it. Well, I guess that's why these guys might not have worked. They were standing level, but let's also add in a player start. Info player deathmatch. Water test 2. And this will show you that the skybox has changed, as well as hopefully the players will start working. I don't understand why it didn't work the last time, other than maybe we didn't have the right thing. And to tell them, hey, it's okay to have players. Yeah, that's all. So yeah, and as you can see, this looks really weird because we got, you know, ground after water. But here we go, we got a nice, you know, island here. We got the water, we can jump in, it looks like water. When we shoot it, it splashes. We can go up onto the island. It doesn't look too bad, I don't think. Somewhat natural, no? Just me? Well, that doesn't look too natural. I'll give you that. I'm okay with this. Little, you know, water inlet, no? So, that's how we make a little island and some water. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go ahead and show you how to build a little tower with a little ladder on the side of it. and then we'll do some glass. So go and do the make a block, but we want to make a cylinder this time, and we want to make it, if I'm not mistaken, 10 will work. This is how many sides you want the cylinder to have. Now we're here, so we want to make it, oh, sorry. We want to change the bracket size, or use the square bracket to change the grid size, and make it 192 by 192. And then we want to make it a bit taller, because we want it to be like a tower, right? So just get a rough idea. You can always use the third person, maybe a bit lower than that. That should be good there. And yeah, 10 works. What we want is a flat side on the or parallel with the grid, just to make it easier for when we go to make our ladder. There we go. Now we got it right on the edge of the grid. Go ahead and create a box, but we want to change the cylinder back to block. That's something you need to always remember when building. The next block or whatever. A lot of times I forget to change it back to, block when I want to make a block after making a cylinder. And it just becomes a pain in the butt. So that gives us a block that'll be the height of the ladder. We just made it along the side here. Because we last made the cylinder and had it selected, it automatically made it the same height by using the top view. Go into browse here and type in, what do we want to type in? Ladder. That's what we're making. Go ahead and select this texture here. You could use one of the other ones, but I find this one works well. As you can see right now, it looks more like a grate than a ladder, so go into the texture button here and click fit. And now, well, that just looks weird, right? So go into the Y here and scroll up or down. Either way, it'll eventually get to the right size. Looking at your guys that you have there, try to put the rungs roughly, the spacing rungs would be on a ladder. That doesn't look too bad. That should work. So let's leave that. But the sides here look kind of weird still. So click on each side, click one side and then hold control and select the other side. And then go into browse and type in metal. And then go through and choose a metal texture. Which one looks good here? This should be fine. I'll go with this one. Apply. And then that just gives it a bit more of a solid look to this sides of the rungs. The inside will look, invisible, but doesn't really matter. If you're looking at this from the front, you should be able to notice what it is. So select the cylinder again. Sorry. Click browse and go to type in brick. And select whatever brick pattern you like. Personally, I'm going to go with this one with the little, I don't know. I forget what it's called. That's just going to look weird. I'll make that. And it's going to go like that. Using these different texture shifts and scales can change the, width of the texture, the height of the texture, as well as its position. Well, that doesn't look too bad. Okay. So now we have our little tower here. Let's select both of them using Control and left clicking them, and then Control X, or if you go up to Edit and Cut. And then, where's that nice flat area? I don't think we have it anymore. I think I resculpted it out of flatness. But let's put it here. That's not too bad. Just want to sort of get in and do like a flat area. We'll sink it in the ground a bit. Sure. That'll be fine. Nah, no, it won't. There's a nice flat area. Goes into the ground a little bit, but it'll be fine. Doesn't go in nearly as much as it was over there. So now just select the ladder and either go to Tools and Tie to Entity, or go Control T and then go to Function Ladder. Click Apply. And now that ladder will now work for climbing up onto that tower to snipe people if you wish. Actually gonna, now that I'm looking at the top, select that and just go fit. Or actually, want a different, with a different color up there. That looks better. Okay, next thing, let's go ahead and make some glass. For this, you could always, take a block and carve out a block from another block and then make that block into glass and make that into a window. But I'm just going to show you how to make glass and make breakable glass. So we're just going to make some spheres that we can shoot. So I'll go to the sphere here and scroll out, zoom back in. We just want to make a 32 by 32 by 32. So we just want it all 32 in each of the grids. Go to Browse and type in glass. This glass here works pretty good, if I'm not mistaken. It's not really that see-through. Oh, well, we've already made that color, so go to this and then Browse and this color. There we go. So that makes it so it'll have a glass sound because it has a glass texture. But if we take it and go Control T, or the Tools, Tie to Entity, and then go to Function Breakable. Now in this you could always change it so you could always have a wall break or different things break. We want glass, that's what it's automatically set to right now. It's like glass for everything. So we just click Apply and that's it. That'll make this now into breakable glass. So let's go Control C and just press Control V a few places around the island and then use the up key to raise them up in the air a bit. And so we'll just put some targets out here for us to shoot at. Okay, once you have your targets around your island here, you could always use other textures and that, but this should work fine for our purposes. Go File, Save, File, Run Map. Okay, terrorist. Let's be an Arctic Avenger. So as you can see, we got our little balls of glass here. You can see through them, and if you shoot them, they break into pieces. Exactly what we wanted. And then we got our ladder here up the back of our thing, and then we can shoot some of these other targets. I missed that one. And just that simple. So we've made a ladder, some terrain, some water, and some glass. Thank you all for watching. Next time I should have some... well, we could get into terrorist traps maybe. There's a few different things. I'll take a look at some other things, and I'll be back with another video. Oh, there's one more. Can't let any of those glass balls live. So, hope you all have a great day, and see you next time. Bye.